Bryan Freedman, Justin Baldoni's attorney, has just shot back at Blake Lively's motion to dismiss. Blake is abusing the legal system. 3 exclamation points. Bryan Freedman tells TMZ Ms. Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self-concocted disaster.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did.
Hollywood isn't just about red carpets and million-dollar coffee runs. It's also a hotbed of legal battles, settlements, and power plays. Enter Bryan Freedman, the go-to attorney for high-profile cases. His latest? A legal showdown that somehow involves Blake Lively. Because let's be real, when Hollywood brings the drama, A-listers make sure it's nothing short of headline-worthy.
It was actually Blake Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan, was planting stories negative to Justin. And all Justin wanted to do, and it's all through the text messages. If the New York Times apparently reviewed 1,000 or more pages of text messages, they would have seen it. Justin never wanted to hurt her, never wanted to be negative to her. He wanted to protect the film, he wanted to protect himself, and he wanted to protect her from making negative allegations about him that were made up and that are proven in this case, and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent who was supposed to be working for Justin Baldoni. Leslie Sloan, who's another PR agent who will be part of this lawsuit. That was Blake Lively's. Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds.
You might think lawsuits are handled with civil discussions, fair agreements, and a respectful handshake. But this is Hollywood, where even the smallest dispute turns into a high-stakes battle. And Blake Lively? She's not just sitting back, waiting for the legal wheels to turn. According to Freedman, she's actively pushing for a settlement, using every tool at her disposal. Whether it's pressure, persuasion, or pure celebrity influence, one thing's for sure. This case is turning into a spectacle worth watching.
What they did was they worked with the New York Times. Her publicist worked directly with the New York Times. They shared illegally obtained text messages. They shared those together. They concocted a complaint that they filed with the Civil Rights Division. They omitted texts that would have provided context, texts that were in the exact same string that would have provided context of what was really going on. And in fact, they actually removed emojis from texts that show that there was satire and there was joking around by the PR crisis agents. I mean, the PR crisis agents.
Same string that would have provided context of what was really going on. And in fact, they actually removed emojis from the text that showed there was satire and joking around. The PR crisis agents, the PR crisis agent Freedman, is no rookie when it comes to high-stakes legal battles. He's gone head-to-head with some of Hollywood's biggest names. So if he says Blake Lively is turning up the pressure, you can bet there's plenty happening behind the scenes. After all, this is Hollywood, where deals don't just fall into place, they're made to happen. And if a settlement is on the table, one thing's certain. Lively isn't just waiting around for the paperwork to sort itself out.
He initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal system. Freedman says stringent rules are put into place to protect the innocent and allow individuals to rightfully defend themselves, while noting laws are not meant to be twisted and curated by privileged elites to fit their own personal agenda. In his statement to TMZ, Freedman reiterated, as we said yesterday in response to Mr. Reynolds' same cowardly measures, we will continue to hold Ms. Lively accountable for her actions of pure malice, which included falsely accusing my clients of harassment and retaliation. Freedman summed it up by saying Blake's fantastical claims will be swiftly debunked as discovery moves forward, easily disproved with actual evidentiary proof.
So, what's really happening here? If the rumors are true, Blake Lively is doing everything she can to speed up this case. No, she's not standing in a courtroom making legal arguments. Hollywood A-listers have entire teams for that. Instead, she's reportedly leveraging her influence in ways that only someone with her level of fame and power could pull off.
Okay, so this is an excerpt from my new favorite book, which is the website that Justin Baldoni published, all about his correspondence with Blake Lively. And this is one of my favorite excerpts with my new favorite Game of Thrones character, Blake Lively. Are you ready for it? And him serving it back to her is just as important. You don't usually see both the man and the woman with such agency and humor. Anyway, I can act it out for you next week to make sure it comes through. Or I can send it now. Let me know what you prefer. XX. To which Justin Baldoni responded, sorry, I was just crying my eyes out as kids and family just left for another 5 weeks and it was a shit show. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji.
Red heart. Think about it. When an A-lister wants something, they don't just ask. They mobilize their team, call in favors, and when necessary,
he's no
use the
stranger
media
to high-profile
sway the narrative.
disputes, and
And if
backing
there's
down
one thing
isn't his
Hollywood
style.
hates more
But
than
even a legal
drag-out
powerhouse
lawsuit,
like him,
it's bad press. So, if Blake Lively is pushing hard for a settlement, you can bet certain stories are being carefully crafted behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about Bryan Freedman's role in all of this. He's handled his fair share of high-stakes disputes and isn't known for backing down. But even a top-tier attorney knows that when a Hollywood star starts pulling strings, things can escalate fast. Fighting a case in court is one thing. Going up against an industry built on controlling public perception is a whole different challenge.
Baldoni's the bad guy. And just to lay it out for the audience in a little bit more detail, what she's claiming is that even though she was a much bigger star than Justin Baldoni, who I never heard of before this lawsuit, she's the much bigger star, and she's married to an even bigger star than she is, Ryan Reynolds, that she came in and onto this project and started to get harassed and mistreated by Justin and some others, and that when she then demanded that all of her concerns be rectified, that he did it, but that he was basically lying in wait for when the film would get released in case she went public with what happened, that he and his PR team determined to bury her, to ruin her, and that this wave of bad press we did see about Blake Lively when the film came out this past summer was not organic. It was totally orchestrated by Justin. And
let's be real, public perception is everything in Hollywood. If Blake Lively is pushing for a settlement, it's not just about the legal details, it's about controlling the narrative. That could mean working the press, timing statements just right, or having strategic conversations behind closed doors. It's all part of the playbook. And here's the kicker. Settlements aren't always about who's right or wrong. Sometimes, they're just the quickest way to make a messy situation disappear, quietly and on your own terms.
Blake Lively writes, I can send you my pass at the roof, or just read with you when we get together next week. Let me know what you prefer, smiley face. If you knew me in person longer, you'd have a sense of just how flirty and yummy the ball busting would play. It's my love language, spicy and playfully bold, never with teeth.
In Hollywood, where reputations are worth millions, the faster a lawsuit or a scandal disappears, the better. No one wants a drawn-out legal battle that invites bad press, so settling out of court often becomes the best option. And if Blake Lively is making sure that's exactly where this case is headed, one thing's certain. She's not the type to sit back and accept a no.
I'd like to apologize to Justin Baldoni because he treated me well and did nothing wrong, and I allowed him to sit in a basement with his family because I was starstruck by Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that Blake Lively was the aggressor in this now epic showdown. Was it right after was it when Baldoni dropped the countersuit? Was it when Bryan Freedman put up the website with the 170 pages and all the text? Or was it right away when the Times wrote?
Right away, I've always had an intuition about her, and I've always had an intuition about Taylor Swift and like the branding of the nice girl stuff. And something just didn't. I went through Justin Baldoni's Instagram, and he just seemed like a puppy. And I read it just didn't add up to me that this guy was secretly just dying to talk about pornography all the time and talk about his porn addiction and wanted her to look at pornography. I'm going, this is not the Instagram feed I'm looking through. And I went back.
Why does Lively care so much? What's in it for her? Simple. Control. Hollywood stars thrive on controlling the narrative, and drawn-out legal battles do the exact opposite. The longer a case drags on, the more details leak, the more the story spins out of their hands, and the more unpredictable things become. And if there's one thing celebrities can't stand, it's unpredictability. Freedman, on the other hand, is playing this carefully. He knows the system, knows when to push, and knows when to let things play out. But if Lively is determined to wrap this up quickly, he's dealing with more than just legal arguments.
Actually did it is far less fruitful, right? The text about like, we could, here's what we might do if we need to, those are everywhere. The text proving they did, far less ubiquitous in this complaint. And what you've said now in your lawsuit against the Times is, don't even believe the texts that you see in the Lively lawsuit because they're seriously misrepresented, omitting major facts that would give them an entirely different meaning, never mind greater context. And that's where I want to bring you.